heading for door 3 as soon as possible. But yeah, Lotus looked around at 6 frustrated faces and spoke. So we've just had a look for Snake. Can't find him. He's the one that disappears every time. Doesn't matter what we change or do previously.
We can't keep looking for him. Wherever he is, it's not here. We need to get moving.
Junpei couldn't disagree with what she was saying. Snake seemed to have completely disappeared. There was no point to wasting any more time. The others seemed to be having similar thoughts, but they stayed silent. Finally, Seven spoke.
We don't got a choice. Lotus is right. We're not going to find Snake. There's a problem, though. We've got to figure out who's going to go through which door.
Yes, I have a proposal.
She walked back and forth across the floor, her heels clicking against the wood. Finally, she stopped.
Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice?
Sacrifice?
Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but you've all figured it out by now, haven't you? We can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3,
Yes. It wasn't pleasant, but she was right. There wasn't any way that the numbers worked out. If the group was 4, the other group would always have a digital route that didn't match a door. But when Seven spoke, his voice was strained.
Then you're saying we got to decide who's going to stay behind?
Yes, we do. Given our circumstances, it's logically and morally the best solution.
Where does this put us on the timeline? Oh, we're still here.
If the other 6 are to survive, then one person has to sacrifice themselves.
No, that's too cruel!
What's so cruel about it?
To just sacrifice someone like that?
Then what's your plan? Maybe we should sacrifice 2 people instead of just 1.
That's not what I meant! We shouldn't sacrifice anyone!
I told you, that's impossible. Wake up.
Whoa. Calm down, you two.
Man, there were so many red flags on Santa, weren't there? Santa stepped between them.
Look, what Lotus is trying to say is, you should aim to bring the greatest amount of happiness to the greatest amount of people, right?
He sounds like a gigolo. Oh, I didn't hear it that way the first time.
Exactly. That's how democracy works.
That's how gigolos work, you pimp.
And for that reason, I think the only fair way to decide who will be sacrificed is through a vote. What do you think?
No! That's terrible!
I'm not asking you. Shut up. What about you, Santa?
Me? Well, I agree, I guess.
All right, that's 1 vote for. Counting mine, that's 2. 7.
I can't say I agree with you, but we don't exactly have a choice. We don't do something, we're all gonna die.
Oh, glad to see you get it. If I can get 1 more vote, then it's decided. What about you, Clover?
Clover had moved away from the group and was sitting on one of the beds. Her whole body dropped. Junpei didn't know she'd even heard Lotus's proposal.
Hey, Clover.
Lotus walked over to her and gently laid a hand on her shoulder.
Your brother has to be behind one of the numbered doors. We've searched everywhere, but we didn't find him. Doesn't that mean he has to have gone through one of them somehow?
Clover slowly lifted her face.
Let's go look for him together, okay? If we sacrifice one person, then we can go look for him. You agree with me, right?
Okay.
Clover nodded once.
The motion carries.
Lotus spun around and walked towards Junpei.
Now, let's start a vote too.
That won't be necessary.
Ace had barely spoken for Lotus's entire speech and everyone jumped a little. 6 pairs of eyes turned to look at him. He didn't seem to notice or even
I will
care.
stay. That should solve our problem, yes?
Ace, what are you saying? No, you can't do that! That won't solve anything!
June's voice shook and she looked around desperately for someone to agree with her. I might go into
June,
the adventure
I'm
screen.
afraid you may have misunderstood me. I said I would stay, but I never said I would sacrifice myself.
Huh?
I trust you, each and every one of you. I believe you'll come back for me.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. There's optimistic, and then there's just nuts. Those doors only go one way. You go in, you don't come out. If we go through them...
You won't be able to return, correct?
Yeah.
True, but that will not be the case once you've escaped from the ship.
What?
Please, I beg you. Once you've escaped, come back. Ideally, within the time limit Zero has given us.
No, that's ridiculous. There's no way we could get back in time. We've only got 5 hours left. We don't even know where the hell we are. How on earth are we gonna find someone to come and rescue you?
Then, perhaps you would prefer to stay instead of me? Or perhaps you would be willing to leave June behind?
All right.
You see, there's no other choice. Then I see we've come to our conclusion. Go on. Don't worry yourselves about me. Go, quickly.
Good. Let's accept his kind offer then.
Good. I think this is the best for me. Perhaps I'll be able to take a nap. It may be my age, but I get tired so easily these days.
Well, what are you waiting for? We're wasting time. Why don't we hurry it up?
All right, all right.
You're right. We should get going. That's all we can do right now.
7.
Seriously. Honestly, I was getting kind of sick of listening to you guys talk.
You too, Santa?
What a douche.
I have to find my brother. Wait, all of you. Let's just calm down and think about this. There has to be a way to get everyone out. There has to be. Right, Jumpy? Say something.
Yeah, let's think. There's gotta be another way.
Fine! Forget about it. I'll figure it out on my own. Ace! Come on, Ace. Please stand up. You can't give up yet. We just have to sit down together and think about this. We'll figure out a way that we can all get out of here. Ace! What happened? Ace, say something.
Man, that coat is awesome, Ace.
I'm all right.
Look at it.
How are you all right?
This.
A syringe? Soparil beta. What does this do? Did you use this?
Yes. It's just anesthetic. I'll be fine.
Anesthetic?
I found it earlier. While we were searching the hospital rooms. I thought it might be useful later. I didn't think I'd be using it on myself.
Why did you do this?
Didn't I tell you? I'd like to take a nap. I really am very tired.
Ace.
Is there something you want to say? I just like to sleep a little. Could you keep it down?
No, don't, Ace. Don't fall asleep.
So comfortable.
Meant to say, so analysing the differences between doors 4 and 5, definitely seems like door number 4, our original choice, was the better option in terms of getting information, because we get the 4-leaf clover from Santa, we get the story of the Egyptian stuff and the Titanic from June, and we also get the story about the scientific experiment thing from Lotus. So that probably is way more useful.
I think I'll have a nice dream.
Ace! Ace!
Let's get him up on a bed.
Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste, right?
Like you even mean that.
You say something?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we?
Huh?
Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door.
Ah, yes. Yes, that's true.
Enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want?
I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number.
Got it. You're 8. You're next, 7. Which one do you want?
I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady.
What? What did you just say?
Who, me? I didn't say nothing.
Oh, you're gonna get it next time.
All right, who's next? Junpei, which door do you want?
So, I know that I can't go through door 3, I think, but I'm going to try and insist on it.
I want to go through door number 3.
Nope, you can't.
Huh? Why?
Because it's impossible. If we split ourselves into 3 and 3, then we give up on going through door 3.
Why?
Bracelet numbers for the 6 of us are 3, 4. There are
Yeah,
two
yeah, yeah.
combinations that can go through door 3 with 3 people. 3, 4, 5, or 6, 7, 8. That's it. Of course, 2 teams can't go through the same door.
I see. That means one team would get left behind.
That's right.
That doesn't happen if we go through door 7 or 8?
No, they're fine. We've got 3 options. Option A, have 3, 5, and 8 go through door 7.
Oh. Did I write this down at the time?
And 4, 6, 7 go through door 8. Option B, 4, 5, and 7 go through 7. And 3, 6, and 8 go through 8. Option C, 3, 6, and 7 go through 7. And 4, 5, and 8 get 8. Those are the only 3 options. That's it. At least if we want to get all 6 of us out of here.
Wait. But that means 5 and 6 can never be on the same team. If
Oh.
we want all 6 of us to go through a door...
Yeah. That's fine.
Have you mulled it over enough, or do you need more time? Anyway, that's the deal, so think it over. You've got 2 choices, 7 or 8. You can't choose 3. If you choose 3, you're gonna be leaving 3 people behind to die. So what are you gonna do? 7 or 8? Time to choose.
Our conclusion was 3.
Sorry, Santa, but I still want to go through door 3.
What? That's nuts! You've gotta be crazy!
Yeah, whatever, Mr. Golden Gun. I don't take lip from a man who has roughly 1/5 of a shirt, okay?
Why the hell are you so obsessed with that door?
I'm just curious about door 3. That's all.
That doesn't explain shit!
I've got a reason. I'd be happy to explain it to you if you'll just come with me. I'm curious about the red. 7, would you mind authenticating for me?
What? Why?
Please, just do it.
Happy?
Yeah, thanks. The number 7 has been entered into the red. Next is June. Please touch the red just like 7 did.
Jumpy, what are you trying to figure out?
Ah, yep. I think I might have found another way out.
What?
What?
Really?
Now please, June.
What?
Oh, okay.
What, can all of us go through?
All right, the only people who haven't authenticated now are Santa, Clover, and Lotus.
So, what's your point?
You don't get it. Think about it.
Huh?
What's the sum of your number and Clover's?
12.
And what's the digital root of that?
3.
Which is Santa's number. By the way, Lotus, what's the number that's currently in the red?
7 plus 6 plus 5 equals 18. It would be 9, right?
Yes, and what will the digital root be if you add 3 to that?
3. The door's number.
Oh, so 5 of us go through, okay.
There you go.
Hey, wait a minute. What the hell are you up to?
I'm not up to
See ya.
anything. I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
I'm waiting for the balance to shift. Santa, or Lotus and Clover. Once one of you moves, the others won't have a choice. So I'm waiting.
Junpei laid his hand almost casually on the lever.
You son of a bitch! You tricked us! Then all that stuff you were going on about is all bullshit!
Bullshit. Huh. I don't think so. Didn't I tell you I'd figured out another way to get out of here? This is it.
Why the hell would you do something like this?
Junpei glanced at June.
Jumpy.
You did this just so you could go through the same door as June. That's it?
Santa was furious. His face was red and flecks of spit flew from his lips as he spoke. Junpei closed his eyes calmly and then opened them again.
So, who's it going to be? Santa, or Lotus and Clover?
Shit!
Let's go, Clover.
Huh?
Eek! Yeah, do one. I'm sorry, but look at this. She's mooning Clover and Santa. Anyway, yeah, he can do one, Mr. Golden Gun. Santa leapt forward. She grabbed Clover by the sleeve and ran for Junpei in the door.
Fuck!
Caught by surprise, Santa froze for a moment, then shot forward like a bullet from a gun. Lotus had a head start, but Santa had the advantage in size and speed. Almost immediately, he passed Lotus and Clover.
Oh, no, wait!
Santa didn't hesitate.
Ah!
He slammed his hand down on the red. Oh, crap.
This is insane! This isn't right!
He glared at Junpei, his chest heaving.
Yeah, well, you may be right,
Junpei's voice was cold, but not without effort.
but
He turned to the red and pulled the lever. Wow, we just got a bit crazy. With the sound of metal on metal, the door opened. It would only remain so for 9 seconds. There was no time to think.
Go.
Junpei and his 3 reluctant companions jumped into the door's gaping mouth, one after another. No sooner did they enter than an all too familiar noise sounded from their left wrists. The detonators had activated. Junpei looked back only once and saw Lotus and Clover on the other side of the closing door.
No.
They stood still, stopped where they'd been when Santa reached the red. The defeat and desperation on their faces tore at Junpei's heart. Then the door closed and they were gone.
You son of a bitch, Junpei! This isn't fair!
Santa rounded on Junpei, lightning crackling in his eyes and his knuckles white.
Do you realize what you just did? You leave them out there, and they can't...
Oh yeah, like you care.
Shut it! That's enough!
It hadn't been Junpei that spoke, but
We
Seven.
gotta find the dead or none of this is gonna matter!
The clock was ticking. The dead was their only chance at survival. Unless they could find it and deactivate their detonators, the 4 of them would
We
be...
got less than a minute left! No time for screwing around! Get moving!
Damn it! You and I are not done yet, bastard!
They scattered and began to scour the room. The deactivation device was nowhere to be found.
Where the hell is it?
Corridors stretched out in 3 directions, but everyone was blocked off by a wall of metal. There was only one way out. The other door.
Over there! It's gotta be behind the door!
Seven ran for the door, a rusty iron thing. His large hands grabbed hold of the handle and pulled.
damn, it's pitch dark inside.
Can't see a thing!
Junpei stuck his head through the door and looked around the room.
No, wait!
Almost immediately, he spotted the blinking red light on the right wall.
I found it! The dead's right over here!
He stepped into the room.
Ugh.
Oh god, have we just stood on Snake?
What? The floor's slippery!
He stopped and glanced down at his feet. What
Hey,
was...
What the hell are you doing?
There's something...
Get over there!
Junpei felt Seven's heavy hands against his back and stumbled across the room. The other 3 piled in behind him. They all felt immediately that something was wrong. Nothing that could be easily identified, only a sense that something terrible shared the room with them. But there was no time to say so.
Quick! Get to the den!
They all started running. In the dark, it was hard to tell where the wall was. All they could see was the tiny red light blinking at them over and over and over.
There it is!
In quick succession, they all slammed their hands against the scanner panel. Then Santa's going to kick off. Seven leaned against the wall, gulping air. As his breathing began returning to normal, he glanced at his left wrist and grunted.
It stopped. It stopped.
Junpei could hear him laughing in the dark, but could barely make out the larger man's face.
I don't think I'll ever get used to doing this.
What the...
The sound of retching came from Santa's direction.
What the hell is this smell? This is vile. I'm gonna puke.
So desperate had they been in their race to the dead that no one had noticed the horrible smell that pervaded the room. It was a terrible, nauseating stench like burnt and rotten meat. Adrenaline had drowned it out, but now it rolled over Junpei in waves, forcing itself into his nose with every breath he took.
Oh, you're right. Oh, this is...
He felt his stomach clench and bile rise up in his throat.
Let's get the lights on first. There's a switch over here.
The light that spilled in from the door barely illuminated a small switch plate next to the door. Slowly, with the toll of the last few minutes apparent in his gait, Seven walked toward it. He stopped as he got close and extended his fingers toward the switch.
Okay, guys, I'm flipping it on.
LLR. Did we ever get an understanding of what that meant? I'm sure I wrote that down. Yeah, I did write it down. LLR. Their initials, because they've got quite a clear full stop after each one. All ice, forest of knowledge, the naval. Cells alive systems. Just as the light turned on, June took in a short breath and the scream echoes through the room. Junpei's breath stopped in his throat. His heart ceased to beat. Time froze. His mind scrambled to make sense of what he saw before him.
What? Hey. Oh, this is...
What was left of the body sat in a sea of blood. Chunks of flesh torn from the body sat in the blood, like tiny islands in a great Red Sea. A vast ragged hole had been torn in the torso, and what remained of his intestines spilled out of it like fresh spaghetti. Smaller chunks of meat had splattered against the wall and become stuck there as they dried. Globules of yellowish fat had left trails like tiny slugs as gravity pulled them down the wall, even as they dried to it.
Looks like an explosion.
Seven's voice was low and strained.
Just like the Ninth Man. The detonator in his bracelet set off the bomb in his gut.
Oh god. The bone is coming out of his left arm.
Right, so there's the clue that Clover was talking about.
It's definitely an open fracture.
It looked as though the explosion had been quite powerful. His legs were both bent in an odd, unnatural way, and his left arm had split open, exposing the painfully white bone of his ulna. His bracelet lay next to him. It seemed to have hit the wall hard enough to have shattered the display, which lay on the ground in pieces.
His face is the worst.
Yeah, you can't even tell who it is.
Half of his head had simply collapsed. The blood coating almost made it look like raw pizza dough covered in tomato sauce. His clothes too were covered in blood. The burgundy tie, the white shirt, the jacket with the yellow piping, and the grey slacks.
But the clothes are...
They were all familiar to Junpei.
Is that
Snake?
Santa's voice wavered as he spoke, his mouth dry.
Oh my god.
Finally, Junpei spoke.
Why did this happen?
No!
Suddenly, June was screaming, her voice broken. It was an eerie scream, full of insanity and not entirely human.
No!
She shook her head violently and grabbed fistfuls of her own hair. Junpei could hear the sound of her hair tearing.
Stop! Calm down!
He grabbed for her wrist.
Hey!
As he did, June leapt up and ran toward the exit.
Please! Get me out of here! You have to let me out of here!
She screamed at the door and her fists slammed against it with a hollow sound. Junpei could see drops of blood on her knuckles.
Why are you doing these horrible things to us? What did we do to deserve this?
June.
She screamed again in a desperate, mindless cry. Her fists flailed against the door.
Get me out of here! Please! Please! Just let me out!
June!
Junpei couldn't watch anymore. He ran to June and wrapped his arm around her, pulling the screaming girl away from the door.
Calm down.
No! Get off of me! Let me go! Let me go!
Please! Calm down!
She scrambled for a moment, her legs skittering across the floor, but her resistance didn't last long. As suddenly as her outburst had begun, it was over. The manic energy disappeared and her body went limp in Junpei's arms. June collapsed toward the floor and Junpei knelt down with her. He felt drops of something warm and wet. Was she crying? A moment later, she began to sob. I'm not laughing at the fact that she's crying, it's just the overacting of the crying is killing me. It's absolutely killing me. It's just killing me. Her shoulders shook and great hot tears rolled down her face like rain. Don't you make a pseudo Blade Runner quote.
We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be alright, June. It's going to be okay, Connie.
Her name was a whisper.
I'll be here with you, okay?
She nodded once.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jumpy.
Her trembling voice pulled at Junpei's heart. He stroked her hair gently, and then she said, Junpei, we can never be together as long as you wear those pedal pushers. His face was so close to her. The scent of her hair was nostalgic.
Do you feel better?
Yes, but I'd like to stay here. For a little while, at least. Jumpy's body is so warm.
Do you mean Jumpy's body? Your body? Yeah, that was a bit strange. Several minutes passed before June's tears had dried. Junpei stood up. He bent down, put his arms under June's and helped her to her feet. They didn't speak. Neither did Seven or Santa. A person was dead. They had died in that room in a terrible way. Junpei knew there was no other way he could make himself forget that. There was no way any of them could forget it. But mourning would do no good. They spread out to search the room, but each felt as if their heart was made of lead.
We better get to it.
So the massively suspicious thing here is obviously that they've turned this blood into part of the puzzle. Those letters written in blood. LLR. Do you think it might be some sort of dying message from Snake? No, that's impossible. You saw the body. You aren't doing anything after something like that happens to you. Then this... The way the blood's dried tells you it's real old. Whoever's blood this is, it ain't Snake's. And you're saying this blood was put here a long time ago? Yeah. Alright, let's see if anything happens when we turn the shower on. Nope, nothing. Not even a drop. Is the pipe clogged? That sounded like June. Hey! Toilet paper! It's got X, Y, and X and Y on it. It's toilet paper with some kind of red symbol on it. You think maybe that's a Cytail cipher? Cytail cipher? What the hell's that? You wrap a piece of paper around a stick, then write several sentences on it so that the whole paper is filled up. Then you unwrap the paper, and you can't tell what the original message was, right? That's how it works, more or less. And to decipher it, you have to have a stick that's the same diameter as the original one. Same diameter as the original one, huh? Yep. And you just wrap the paper around that stick, and you can read the code. Interesting. A wooden box, there's something in it. Luminol. What the hell's this thing? Some kind of old spray bottle? There's something written on it. Lumin. Can't read anything else, the label's all faded. Let me see that. He just grabbed it from him. That wasn't very nice. Oh, this is luminol. You know, forensics guys use it at crime scenes. Oh yeah, that stuff that glows blue when you spray it on blood. Even if the blood's been wiped off, it'll still glow. Will we get to go back and do these rooms? No. That's the bit that's going to screw us here, probably, right? So we got lots of key information here and absolutely none here. Junpei reached for the broom, and as he grabbed it, he heard a soft voice from behind him. It was June.
The rabbit hutch.
Huh?
He turned around. June still looked sadly pale, but there was a smile on her face.
Oh, you just reminded me of it. The rabbit hutch, I mean.
How did I remind you of something like that?
Jumpy and the broom. You're always playing around with the broom in front of the rabbit hutch.
I was.
Don't you remember?
Okay, so it turns out Junpei's stalker has a better memory of his own life than he does. Junpei stared at the broom in his hand.
You mean you don't remember that summer either?
Oh no! She looked very sad. He shook his head.
Of course I remember. How could I forget something like that?
Yeah, alright, you've dug yourself in the hole, Junpei.
It was terrible.
What? It looks like we found the romance path, I guess. We need to go through a traumatic event together. They were in 6th grade. Junpei and June had been assigned to take care of the classroom pets, the rabbits. Their chief duty was to clean the hutches every morning. On the final day of school before summer vacation began, Junpei overslept. He rushed to school and found June standing in front of the rabbit hutches. No sooner had Junpei arrived than June began to cry. He had no idea why until he looked behind her into the rabbit hutch. First thing he saw was blood. The hutch was filled with dead bodies of the rabbits. Even after their teachers and friends came to see what the commotion was, June couldn't stop crying.
I just kept crying and crying until you came over.
Oh, God.
You held my hand, and you looked very serious, and you said, "Don't cry. I'm going to catch the person who did this." After you told me that, I finally stopped crying.
Well, the real fun started after you quit crying. You told me we were going to catch the killer together.
June smiled, and a little of the flush of life returned to her cheeks.
Then we decided that we'd ambush them.
Yeah, I remember.
The school also kept roosters and guinea pigs. Junpei and June had decided the murderer would likely return to finish off the rest of the animals. They would ambush the killer at night. Junpei and June hid behind the hutch at dusk and waited. It was a warm summer night. Quiet sound of crickets whispered through the air. As the sun went down, the stars began to wink at them from the sky. And June's Akane Kurashki's face That night was something Junpei knew he would never forget as long as he lived. But what are you talking about? He just forgot it! He just forgot it, right?
But the murderer never showed up. We waited for them all summer vacation, and they never showed up.
That is the worst summer.
Yeah, but the animals didn't get attacked either. I think all that work amounted to something, you know?
He felt the same way, but it was good to hear her say it.
Although, you know, if you think about it, we were probably taking on a lot more than we could handle.
This is probably obvious, so I don't need to say this, but I do not ship this romance at all.
What do you mean?
She looked up at him, confused.
Oh, come on, we were just kids. If whoever killed the rabbits had actually showed up, they probably would have had a knife or something.
There's probably a fox or something.
I mean, you must have been pretty worried, right?
I wasn't worried. Because you were there with me.
She blushed furiously. How can you blush furiously?
Well, you know, no one else wanted to take care of the animals.
Clearly embarrassed, she tried desperately to change the subject. Yeah, please do.
I was the only one who asked to do it at first.
Yeah, well, boys don't really want to bother with taking care of animals, you know.
What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, but you asked to do it after I did, didn't you?
If it wasn't the rabbits, they were going to make me do something else. You know how that school was. I figured it'd be better if I was working with somebody who wasn't too much of a loudmouth, right? Somebody who wasn't going to tell on me if I felt like blowing it off.
Oh.
Really? That's why you volunteered?
Yeah, it is.
He nodded quickly and much too earnestly, and then quickly looked away at something very important.
Really?
Of course.
That hadn't been the reason, of course. He'd asked to take care of the rabbits so that he could be near June. But it had been so long ago he couldn't bring himself to tell her how he'd felt back then. It would be embarrassing. He took a quick breath to clear his head, tossed the broom up, and then snatched it out of the air.
Well, we don't really have time to be walking down memory lane like this, you know?
We already did.
We've got to figure out a way out of this room. Otherwise...
Like, Santa or Seven would have punched us by now.
Yes. I'm gonna look over there.
Jude nodded curtly and turned and walked away.
I should get back to it myself. Ah!
Is that an eyeball?
That's right. The pool of blood.
Junpei turned around and looked at the room. At Snake's body. Chunks of flesh and organs still lay on the floor.
Going on and on about old times right next to a corpse? What were we doing?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was because we're in this mess.
Despite such a situation, or perhaps because of it, the mind turned to the farthest thing from death that it could find. Yeah, dead rabbits, yeah. Still, Junpei couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt at wanting so desperately to live when Snake lay dead before him.
I have to survive, no matter the cost. I need to make sure she gets out too.
As he stared at the clumps of blackened flesh, all Junpei could think of was how much he wanted to live. Huh. What are you doing with the broom? A bucket! A thick pipe that stretches across the floor. A dividing wall. What do you think this is? Looks like tar. It's kind of sticky, don't think we can just wipe it off. I doubt just pouring some water on it's going to help much either. What about hot water? Hot water? If we had some really hot water, like boiling hot, then maybe that'd wash it off. Or maybe if I had a magic spray... Oh, maybe not. It's a water tank. I've seen a lot of OC guys try and hide a piece in something like this. Usually for a 187 or something, because they think it's clever. Don't know when they'll figure out everybody else thinks it's clever too. Huh? So what, you used to be a prison officer or a prisoner? I mean, I know peace, but what's OC? Organized crime. What's that, some kind of police slang? Huh? Probably. What did I say? Why is he looking all sad now? That's not really important right now, guys. Let's just check it out, alright? Maybe he's got no memory loss. Maybe he used to be a prisoner. Maybe he's a prisoner. And he just doesn't want everyone to know. Well, he's not wasting any time. Maybe that's why he drank the alcohol so fervently. Hey, a screwdriver. It's a screwdriver. We can unscrew things with this. Was there something we needed to unscrew somewhere? The toilet tank. Let's just search everything before we start messing around. Nothing in the toilet. If there was, it'd be gross. Might be something in the tank, you know. Let's open that shit up. Red key card. It's a red key card. It's a red card, probably a key card. Do you remember if you saw a red card reader anywhere around here? Nothing in here now. I already checked them. Nothing unusual there. Oh! It's a thermometer. 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 Can you get it off? No. It's screwed to the wall. Oh, yes. Right, first things first. Let's combine these things. What if I wrap the toilet paper around the broom? Oh, so you wrap the toilet paper around the broom, huh? Looks like the symbols lined up perfectly. It says 634. 634 plus. Right. What have we got here? There's a piece of paper tied to this pipe with a wire. Drainage valve operation. Please don't flush the water in these pipes. Doing so may cause the drain to overflow. The pipe on the right here must be connected to the drain in the middle of the room. If you turn on the water here, it'll probably come up through the drain. Right, hang on, let's mess with the thermometer first.
Hey, Junpei. You know why thermometers only go up to 107 degrees Fahrenheit?
No, I can't say I ever thought about that.
At 107 degrees, the cells in the human body start to die, and the organs begin to shut down. The proteins in your cells start to harden.
I think he's trying to threaten us.
It's like when you hard-boil an egg. Even if you cool it down afterwards, it won't go back to being a raw egg. In other words, it's dead. That's why thermometers don't go past 107. There's no point.
Oh yeah?
But it's pretty rare for a fever to get that high. Even viruses and stuff don't usually drive the body temperature up to 107. Of course, there are other external things that could.
Like what?
Well, let's see. Something like getting locked in a sauna. Or getting thrown into an incinerator and burnt to death.
Yeah, I guess that would get a little hotter than 107 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, I got it! Huh? What's up?
Nothing. Forget about it.
What was that all about?
We took the thermometer off. It says open at the bottom of the gauge. I wonder what it means. Maybe when it gets that hot, something will open. The password is 4 digits. Lock. There's a blue light right next to it, but it's off. And the red light's off too. Yeah, still says lock. I know we've got the LLR thing. Yeah. If I can get the hot water on the thermometer, then maybe... Alright, thermometer, let's get this party started. Just like it's doing the trick. There goes the gauge. And now it's at the open mark. It opened. What's this? Looks like there's a piece of paper in here. 957 plus. Really hot water. Yeah. The flow of water can be controlled. We can't put any water through the pipe on the right, though. If we do that, it'll start overflowing from the drain. Size handles for adjusting the valves. Looks like each handle has 3 positions, left, center, and right. We've got 6 handles. Each one's got 3 positions. Yep, fill the bucket. You turn the shower on. Gonna put the bucket under it. Okay, sure thing. Something that looks like tar. If I flush the hot water from the bucket, that should clean it. Alright, just pour the hot water in. Looks like you filled it. Now you should be able to flush it. There's probably a handle somewhere on the tank you can pull. You think so? Serious? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Where's the handle? Well, there it goes, just like a toilet should. 185 equals. The stuff's washed off. Looks like that writing was numbers. See it? 185. What is this? You got me. Just looks like numbers. Dirt we flushed out. I guess that's our 2 numbers, right? Six, 3, 4 plus 1, 8, 5 equals 819 and 9, 5, 7 plus 185 equals 1142. Well, looks like the power's on. I wonder what the deal is with those things that say lock. Oh, right. Okay. Oh, hello. Huh. Looks like there's something down there on that grate. I think it's a card. Yeah, it's the blue card. Can't reach it though. It's too deep. What have we still got in here? Wait, You don't really think we're supposed to use the luminol here, do you? Yeah, it does seem kind of weird to use it here. Maybe I should try it just in case. Okay, I've sprayed the luminol. What's next? Oh. That's where we came in. Guess it's locked. Can't go back. Yep. I guess I need to flood the room. LLR. I know that that's going to be in reference to this, but divider between the stalls on the other side of this wall. No, I don't want to think about it. You don't trust me? No, I don't trust you. Okay. Oh, because of the height of them. LLR. I understand. Well, that's like the top one, and then are these two the same height? Is that what you mean? Oh. Oh, there we go. LLR, LRL. Just like you thought, Junpei, there's some more letters showing up after the LLR. See? It says LRL. There we go. Well, I did what it said on the wall. I wonder if it actually did anything. Hey, this drain's acting up. What the hell did you do? I just messed with the valves a little. Nothing big. There we go. Jumpy, the card's floating. Looks like the water floated the card up out of the drain. Must be a water flowing through the pipe on the right. There's water pouring out the drain. Blue key cards. It's the blue key card. This is the symbol for Mercury, isn't it? There was an elevator right outside the big hospital room. I think that same symbol was on the card reader next to it. That's right. I guess that means we're not supposed to use this card in this room? You really think so? You don't think maybe we need it for this room and for the elevator? Who knows? Nothing else here? What do I do now? I don't believe you, man. Oh, this is a key slider, alright. Huh. The blue light was just on, but now it's off. Guess we have to swipe the red card first, then the blue. Thank you. I did not realise this was a card reader. No, a card swiper. Now you just need to put in the password. Right. I mean, my guess is that it's the bigger number. 1142, so... Both lights are on, we should be able to enter the password now. What's with these E and C keys? Yeah, I understand, I understand. Oops. Okay, maybe I have to add all of them. And 9, 5, 7 plus 6, 3, 4 plus 1, 8, 5. 1776. Is that an important year, maybe? Who knows? Probably not. Here we go. Thank you.
There's a large iron door at the end.
Let's take a look. Huh? What are you doing, Seven?
Well, I figure maybe we might want to come back here sometime. So, I stuck the broom in there to keep the door from shutting. Alright, let's go.
Jumpy, look!
What's up?
What's that on the wall there?
Oh, I think it's... a map of the ship's interior?
Yeah.
It says C deck.
So it's the map for this floor, then. We'll have time to study it later. Let's keep going for now.
Ready? I'm gonna open it.
Then Lotus slaps us in the face.
What the...
You're shitting me. We're back.
Are they gone, though?
Clover! Lotus! And Ace! I'm glad you're all okay. Lotus? What are you...
How could you do this to us?
Knock it off! We got bigger shit to worry about right now.
What?
Go have a look. I stuck the screwdriver in the door. That door over there, the one without a number. So long as the screwdriver's there, it can't shut. So you can get it.
Sorry.
There's a shower room past there. I stuck a broom at the door there, too. Anyway, go take a look.
Then you're saying we can go in there without passing through the numbered door?
Yeah, it's about the size of it.
Wait, what the hell is in there?
You'll know when you see it.
Fine, let's go.
Lotus and Clover looked at one another for a moment, then nodded and stepped through. By then, Ace had made his way to them, moving with the stiff, shuffling steps of someone who'd only just awoken from a lengthy slumber.
My goodness. I know I said I was sure you'd come back for me. I didn't think it would happen so soon, though.
Ace shook his head weakly.
Should I go as well?
Yeah.
Seven nodded.
Very well.
Ace followed Lotus and Clover with his stiff, tired gait. The squeal of tortured metal made Junpei's teeth curl. It sounded like the noise a ghost would make. No matter how many times he heard it, he never got used to it. Every time it put him on edge. It didn't help that there was a girl nearby who looked far more like a ghost than a living human should. It was Clover. She sat on the edge of the bed, her head drooping listlessly onto her chest. Her eyes were blank and stared across the room at nothing. Her breathing was slow and mechanical. Aside from the rise and fall of her chest, she didn't move. Junpei felt as if a nudge might cause her to shatter into 1,000 pieces.
Snake was probably murdered. Chances are he was killed the same way the Ninth Man was.
Seven lowered his voice, likely in an effort to keep Clover from hearing what he had to say. There were 4 other people in the room, Junpei and Seven. Ace, Santa, June, and Lotus. Seven looked at each one of them in turn and continued.
It's pretty straightforward. Not that hard to figure out how they did it. First, the killers got Snake to authenticate on the red to open door 3. Then they shoved him into it, alone, and waited 9 seconds for the door to shut. Once that door shut, it was all over for Snake. But he didn't give up. He probably knew it wouldn't do him any good, but he probably ran into the shower room looking for the dead. It was a small chance, but it wasn't like he had anything to lose. Unfortunately, it didn't work. The detonator is only deactivated if everybody who authenticated when they went in uses the dead. Snake was the only one who went through the door, and then 81 seconds after he was shoved in, that happened.
I see. So that's what you meant by killers, huh? You need at least 3 people to open one of the numbered doors, including Snake. It wouldn't open for Snake and a single killer.
Yeah. That means we're looking at multiple perps here.
Junpei crossed his arms and grunted.
Well, just in case, I want to make sure. Let's say you're right. When do you think Snake was killed?
When we all split up to look for the parts for the Reds, I think. Right after that was when we noticed he was gone.
Then that means none of us have alibis. We were all off searching the rooms we'd been assigned, looking for those parts.
So where are we up to exactly? So on this path so far, we've got absolutely 0 key information. Unless these only appear on here after I've finished the game. I've finished the run. Not sure. Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to end the video there. We'll pick it up from here next time. I don't know if we're going to get to go through doors 7 and 8, which is interesting. Probably not. Probably just going to move on. They only went through door 3 originally to eliminate the possibility of Snake being in there. Now, because we've already found him, we don't need to go through those 2 doors. So, yeah. Alright. Pick it up from here next time. Interesting. We're very much making ourselves out to be the enemy here. So, yeah, I'm not sure what room I'm going to pick. And seems clear that picking door 3 was a way of having June and Junpei together the whole time. But we'll pick it up from here next time. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a thumbs up if you did. Just remember, everyone, never trust a non-crate. I'll see you next time.